Hello guys, here is Natalie and I hope you're ready to enjoy English. Let's start! I'm wicked happy to announce today the new rubric, which is active reading. Today you are gonna listen to and read one of my favorite stories, and you will have a chance to check your listening and reading comprehension skills afterwards. Now listen to the story carefully, and if necessary, get back and listen to it 2 more times.
Two Sisters and the Cat. Mrs. Wilson and Mrs. Smith are sisters. Mrs. Wilson lives in a house in Duncan, and Mrs. Smith lives in a condominium in Victoria. One day Mrs. Wilson visited her sister. When her sister answered the door, Mrs. Wilson saw tears in her eyes. "What's the matter?" she asked. Mrs. Smith said, "My cat Sammy died last night, and I have no place to bury him." She began to cry again. Mrs. Wilson was very sad, because she knew her sister loved the cat very much. Suddenly Mrs. Wilson said, "I can bury your cat in my garden in Duncan, and you can come and visit him sometimes." Mrs. Smith stopped crying, and the two sisters had tea together and a nice visit. It was now 5 o'clock, and Mrs. Wilson said it was time for her to go home. She put on her hat, coat, and gloves, and Mrs. Smith put the dead Sammy into a shopping bag. Mrs. Wilson took the shopping bag and walked to the bus stop. She waited a long time for the bus, so she bought a newspaper. When the bus arrived, she got on the bus, sat down, and put the shopping bag on the floor beside her feet. She then began to read the newspaper. When the bus arrived at her bus stop, she got off the bus and walked for about 2 minutes. Suddenly she remembered she had left the shopping bag on the bus.
It's time to answer the questions. I hope you did well. If any questions arise, please text me in the comment section below. Now here is an extra task for you. Have you noticed that we actually have no ending? We have no idea what happened to Sammy or what happened to the sisters. So let me know what you think. What would be your best ending for the story? Text me